On this week's 3-Minute Theology Thursday, we're going to talk about one of the most sensitive subjects in the church. Dollar bills, y'all! There's an old saying that goes around, if you want to measure a person's faith, take a look at their checkbook. But when we talk about money and giving and all of that, it raises a whole host of issues that set people's teeth on edge. I've had many conversations with people who just don't want to talk about money. I am not here to tell you to give money to the church, or to give more money, or to give all the money. When it comes to giving money to the church, I think it's important to talk about it. Because our giving isn't simply in support of the church and its function in the world. It's actually an act of worship. When we give money to the church, whether it be 1% or 10% or 90%, Jim Herr, the founder of Herr's Potato Chips, promised God he'd give 90% if he'd let his little company take off. He held true to that promise. Herr's Chips, not a sponsor. But however much we give, we want to make sure that that money is going toward the right thing. We don't want it to go to solid gold dog houses or the pastor's new Porsche. We want it to go to keeping, the church running, keeping it heated and lit and all that stuff. But more importantly, we want it to go to the mission of the church. Helping the poor, to the clothing the naked, the feeding the hungry. We want it to go to spreading the word outside of the church. We want the money to be used properly. So when pastors or churches abuse their people's trust and misuse their money, it doesn't just damage their reputation, it damages all of our reputations. And churches have to work a lot harder to gain certain people's trust. But our giving money isn't solely about making sure the church has its lights on or funding its ministries. It's actually about something bigger than that. Our giving is primarily a response to God for all that He has given us. Our giving is an act of worship to God. It's a gift that we give in order to express that we are not dependent on just the things of this world, the material wealth, but we are dependent on God, and we're entrusting to Him part of the treasure He's given us so that it can be used how God wants it to be used. Now, it's up to the churches to discern how God wants it to be used in their context, but that's almost secondary to why we give. Our giving is simply an expression of gratitude, not because God needs our money, but it's because it's valuable to us. It's our way of showing God He is more valuable to us than the things we possess. Giving should never be used as a club to beat people into a deeper expression of faith. People shouldn't have to feel guilty about how much they give. See, it's not that you have to give a lot of money. You have to give what God leads you to give. But we do need to consider how much we are actually holding on to for ourselves out of a lack of trust in God to take care of us, or out of a desire to have certain luxuries that we don't necessarily need. So tell me, how has giving affected your faith? Let me know in the comments below. This is Daily Vlog number 198. 167 to go. I'll talk to you tomorrow.